Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a blood splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I have chlamydia.
And Jack has chlamydia, apparently. We're supposed to be talking about VHS Halloween, so we are going to talk about VHS Halloween, the latest entry in the VHS franchise, this time themed around the holiday of All Hallows Eve. All the segments are either set on Halloween or about Halloween in some capacity. So, just like we always do with the VHS movies, they're anthology films, they're found footage anthology films, and I find it's a lot easier to go through each segment one by one, first without spoilers,
and then with
spoilers, telling you how we felt about it. But I will say this, overall, I think this is probably the grossest entry in the series yet.
Yeah.
There's some nasty stuff in this, just straight up nasty, and some disturbing stuff in this. I think overall it's probably one of the better VHS entries, but I feel like I've been saying that the last like 3 entries. Like they just keep topping themselves.
Well, this one's great because it doesn't have a low point.
There really isn't. Every segment I love from start to finish. Even segments that completely shift tone, I adored.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the wraparound segment of VHS Halloween, Diet Phantasma, written and directed by Bryan M. Ferguson. The wraparounds tend to be one of the weaker parts of any VHS movie, but I love this wraparound.
Yeah.
This is actually probably one of the best wraparounds they've ever had. The wraparound involves a cola company that is trying to do research into this drink that they've dubbed Diet Phantasma, and the drink keeps possessing people and causing weird shit to happen. Now, there's a reason for that, and we'll talk about that in the spoilers, because they don't really tell you up front what the research they're doing is.
Right.
You'll figure it out for yourself pretty quickly, I think, but we'll still save it for the spoilers. This segment feels like something you would see out of, like, Trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Like 100%.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely like a Trauma-esque segment.
Absolutely. So if you like Trauma-esque, violent, potty humor, and just gnarly gore and gooey red stuff, you're gonna dig this segment. Diet Phantasma. Ask for it by name. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, this next segment is probably my favorite segment.
Oh yeah, they started with the strongest.
But this is one of the most screwed up segments they've ever had for any VHS movie. Coochie Coochie Coo. Written and directed by Anna Zlokovic,
the writer and director of the highly underrated Hulu original The Appendage.
This segment is about 2 girls who go around Halloween basically pranking people in a town as their one last hurrah before they go off to college, only for them to prank the wrong house.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yup. And they come at odds with a mysterious creature known as the Mommy. We'll talk more about the Mommy and what her whole deal is in the spoiler section, but needless to say, there's a lot of body horror in this segment.
Yeah.
And a lot of gross imagery. This segment was the closest I came in any VHS movie to just straight up throwing up while I was watching it.
Yeah, there are a lot of times in this one where I was like, ah!
Yes.
You know, like,
it's got a theme. It
does. There's a through line.
We'll talk about that in the spoiler section, but that's the other thing I really like about this segment is that some segments are just random shit happening.
Yeah.
This one has such a clear through line that there's actually kind of an arc for the characters that we'll talk about later on. So, Coochie Coochie Coo, which may or may not be our hashtag by the end of this video. We'll see.
It'll be hard for it not to be.
Ut Supra Sic Infra, written and directed by Paco Plaza. Now, I actually am familiar with Paco Plaza.
Yes.
Paco Plaza is responsible for the Wreck movies, which are fantastic found footage films. So this is one of the more anticipated entries in this VHS movie because this is a guy who's known for found footage. So obviously he had to bring his A game. Now, this segment is about a guy who is being interrogated by the police because he apparently killed all his friends.
Yeah, he is claiming he killed all his friends.
Yes. And the police, very unsure of exactly what happened, take him to the scene of the crime and ask him to walk through what happened the night of the murders.
Yeah, with the idea that what happened was so grisly and so weird, they're like, we don't believe that this guy did this.
Absolutely. This segment isn't as goofy as the first two segments.
No.
Well, the first segment and the wraparound. It's also not as goofy as the segment that's going to follow it. This is one of the more serious segments, and I actually thought it was pretty effective. It is the slowest. It takes the longest to get to its point, but when it does get to its point, it actually has some of the most like clever found footage camera tricks.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Fun Size.
Fun Size.
Written and directed by Casper Kelly, another filmmaker I am familiar with. Casper Kelly, you may know as the writer and director of Too Many Cooks and the Adult Swim Yule Log 1 and 2. So if you like those, which we do,
Yes.
you're gonna like this segment, but I will tell you, it is the goofiest segment in this entire movie. The premise of this segment is a group of friends who are way too old to be trick-or-treating, but decide to go trick-or-treating anyway, come upon a bowl with a sign that says one candy per person.
One per person.
100%. Now, they end up taking more than one per person, and weird shit happens from there. We'll talk about it in the spoilers section. But this one is goofy, and they definitely brought their A game with the weirdness in this segment.
Yeah.
The next segment is Kidprint, written and directed by Alex Ross Perry, the director of Right Here, Right Now, the Ghost musical film.
Yeah.
So this segment, I expected with this director behind it to be a goofier one, because if you've seen Right Here, Right Now, it's a really funny movie.
Yeah. You expect it to be more comedic in tone.
Yeah, it's a really funny concert movie. Like, it's a concert that has like a little like narrative around it, kind of like that one they made for Metallica, but this one's for the band Ghost. This segment is not funny. This segment,
this segment is very dark.
This is legitimately the darkest, most horrifying one in this movie. Not the most disturbing. That first segment might take the cake here.
Coochie kind of takes the cake.
Yes.
You know.
But this is the one that like hurt me in the deepest depths of my soul the most.
Yeah.
Not necessarily made me want to throw up. It's the equivalent of like watching like war footage. It's just horrifying.
Yeah, because it's all about a child killer.
Yes. And we'll talk more about how that works in the spoiler section. But it's about a child killer, and it doesn't shy away from showing the child killing.
Yeah.
So be warned about that. It's gonna be a hard watch for parents.
That one could be that one was a bit of a sit.
And it hits you like a fucking ton of bricks because you just got through like one of the goofier segments and then you got here.
Yeah.
I believe we are on to the last segment of VHS Halloween, Home Haunt.
Home Haunt.
Written and directed by Michelin Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman. I'm not familiar with their works, but I'm assuming they're a husband and wife couple, given the names there. But this segment is about a family. Well, it's really about a father and son, but there is a whole family involved. And this family does a home haunt, like a
haunted house out of their house.
Yeah, like a haunted house out of their house every year. They're always ever escalating it, so it's bigger and better each year. And this year, there is a surprise twist that makes everything go horribly wrong that we'll talk about in the spoiler section.
Yeah, one thing worth shouting out, this one has the celebrity appearance. Special effects fucking master Rick Baker shows up as the neighbor who is criticizing everything in the haunted house.
Which is a great fucking joke. I was laughing my ass off every time he showed up, and it's just like, that's not scary. That's a terrible effect. He's just a real asshole, but he's friggin' great.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. It doesn't seem like Rick Baker did any of the effects for this segment or anything.
No.
He just shows up as an actor.
I don't know, but I think it's cool that he's here. The thing I really like about this segment, weirdly enough, isn't actually most of the scares or anything, because I do think most of the other segments are like scarier or more fucked up or more whatever. What I really like about this segment is I really found myself caring about the father and son.
Yeah, you want them to be okay.
They have this like broken relationship where they used to really love doing this thing, and one of them still wants to do it, but the other one's kind of grown out of it. It's very simple, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
If you've seen any VHS movie, the last segment is always like a buck wild segment.
Yeah.
Where just like the kitchen sink happens to someone. Like famously, the first VHS has that one haunted house one where they go through the fucking haunted house like in like one long take.
Yeah.
This one is not one long take, but it is kind of like that, where like it's like the kitchen sink is thrown at our main characters, one after another, and they have to survive it. It's a wild segment, and it probably has one of the better last shots of a VHS segment. So that's worth noting. So VHS Halloween is currently available on Shudder. You're gonna have to go check it out on Shudder, though like most Shudder original movies, it will be available on other platforms to rent or buy eventually. Just, keep looking it up and you'll probably find it. And with that said, let us move on to the spoilers so we can talk about all the weird shit that happens in these segments. So here we go.
Okay, so in the wraparound segment, Diane Phantasma is ghosts.
Yes, world's first possessed soda, I think is the reveal.
Yeah, mixed with real ectoplasm.
These tentacles coming out of the soda and
forcing people to drink it.
Yeah, forcing people to drink it and like fusing with their face. Just pure body horror gnarliness. There's a person who explodes after they drink it. I think that was one of the little kids, actually.
Yeah, that was one of the little kids.
There's people who get possessed and then start like ripping each other's heads off. It's pretty wild. The entire time you have this one guy who's behind glass, like watching it all, screaming at the other scientists, like, adjust the formula, fix the formula.
Yeah.
And it's very clear when you get to the last one that he wasn't looking for a drink that has no effect on people.
Right.
He wants the drink to make people possessed enough to where they are compelled to buy the beverage.
Yes. That's what he's looking for.
It's an anti-consumerist horror tale.
Yeah.
Or anti-consumerism, not anti-consumerist. About this evil fucking soda company.
It reminded me a little bit of Halloween 3. Instead of like having like Tom Atkins going, shut it off!
Yep.
You've got the guy who's been directing the whole thing going, ship it all!
Yes. It's fucking great. Again, it feels like something straight out of a Trauma movie.
Yeah.
Or like The Stuff.
Yes.
100%.
The Stuff.
If you like Trauma or Larry Cohen, you're probably gonna dig that segment. So, Coochie Coo. Where to begin with this?
Okay, I'll tell you where we begin. The monster is a witch with 6 tits.
Yes.
That are constantly lactating. You see it. You watch it happen.
Now, this segment never explains anything that's happening.
No, you have to put it together.
But as far as I can tell, some Halloween spirit of motherhood. People who violate Halloween rules.
Halloween rules. Yeah.
Like if you're too old to be doing Halloween, she comes for you and then turns you into a baby person.
Yeah.
And I don't mean an actual baby. Like you start to form baby features on your face.
Yeah.
You get baby cheeks.
So there are these other creatures in the house too, which are the previous kids she's taken and turned into these baby things.
Yep.
And one of them keeps leaving these stinking milk footprints.
Yes.
Another one is constantly vomiting.
There's one that's like chewing on the walls.
One is chewing on the walls.
There's the Coochie Coo one that's just like round corners going Coochie Coo.
It's like a big fat guy like dressed as a baby, like, just
luring them with candy.
Dude.
It's so fucking weird. And the body horror.
Oh my God, the breast pump.
Oh,
the 6-cupped breast pump. When you first see it, you're like, what the fuck is that?
And then you see the mommy shirtless.
Yeah.
And it's just horrifying.
Like, oh my God.
If you've ever thought there's such thing as too many tits, there is. Believe me.
Yeah. The wrong number is a factor.
But I actually like this segment has this like reoccurring theme. You start off with these 2 women who are like on the verge of adulthood.
Yeah.
They even have a conversation about like saggy tits and like getting old and like fearing that and all that stuff. And so they end up coming across this creature with the horrific horrors of motherhood, the most horrific version of motherhood you could possibly fucking imagine. That first like targets them because they're too old to be doing the shit they're doing.
Yeah.
And then forces them to become children forever. And you get the saggy tits they were fearing.
Yeah, so there's 6 of them.
There's 6 of them. God, it's freaking horrifying. This was written and directed by a woman. I guarantee this was like her fever dream she had one night.
It feels like it.
Like it's like all her deepest, darkest fears just put into one segment. And I got to applaud them for that.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Ut, Supra, Sic, Infra, which I believe means as above.
As above, so below.
So below. Which is a big giveaway of what's going on in this segment. So it turns out that the group of friends that he murdered were basically breaking into this like abandoned house that belonged to like a medium. There's just a telephone there that apparently the medium used to call the spirits from beyond the grave. And the phone rings.
Yeah.
Despite not being hooked up to anything, despite not even being plugged in anywhere, the old rotary phone just fucking rings. And one of them is stupid enough to pick it up, and that's the character that's being interrogated.
Yep.
And they kill their friends. But you spend the whole segment wondering how exactly they kill their friends. You see photos of like their eyes gouged out and them like dead on the ground. When the police have them go and walk through the crime scene, what ends up happening is history repeats itself. The phone rings again, and he gets possessed again. As above, so below, so you can assume hell.
Yeah.
You can assume the devil. And then everyone gets levitated to the ceiling, stuck to the ceiling, and then he walks around on the ceiling upside down, pulling their eyes out and eating them.
It's a really good effect when he pulls the eyes out.
Oh yeah, there's a point in which he, like straight on, you have this one shot of this person's face, and in the background you can see him walking around pulling other people's eyes out. And like he walks up, and this is like a long 5-minute take, pulls the eyes out without a cut or seam whatsoever, to the point where I was sitting there going like, wait, was it a fake head the whole time?
Yeah.
If it was, I didn't notice. It was a great freaking trick. Mind you, this single take continues on from the camera being floated to the ceiling and then dropped back on the ground. It's an amazing fucking...
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Like, this is one of those old school found footage filmmaker from the early days of like found footage's heyday, showing this is how you do it.
Yeah, this is how you do it.
It's like a veteran making a top-notch segment. It's really great. It takes the longest to get to the actual point of it, but when it gets there, it delivers. Fun size. All right.
Fun size.
So the first weirdness about the fun size segment is all the candy in the bowl is not normal candy. It's not like Milky Ways or anything. It's these weird off-brand things. And they're also like huge. It's like massive candy bars. But one of them opens one of the candies and eats it in front of the bowl. It's a chocolate dick. He bites into it. It's got cream filling.
Yep.
He tries to go for another helping of candy inside the bowl and gets sucked into the bowl. And they wake up in this candy factory being chased around by this creature that is some sort of like otherworldly candy mascot. He looks like a mascot.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a real thing. He looks like felt and fabric. And he just runs around saying shit like, fun size! Fun size! Which might also become our hashtag by the end of this video. I'm not sure yet. And he, one by one, turns them into candy.
Favorite moment, at the peak of everything going wrong, one of the characters just goes, nope, and just dives right into the fucking machine to kill themselves.
Yep. It's like, no, I'm done. Now, mind you, the character that does that just had a fucking tube shoved up her ass, candy filled inside her until her head exploded.
Yeah.
So she didn't have the top of her head when she went and ran inside the machine.
Yeah. But she, you can sympathize.
And I love that they make it very clear that this mascot is not human. They like try to chop off its arm and it inflates a new arm.
Yeah.
But I like that. If you're gonna do a VHS segment and you can't make it like super scary, make it bizarre as hell.
Make it weird.
Yes. Absolutely. After fun size, we have Kidprint.
Oh, God.
So this takes place in the 90s. It is about a guy who runs a service, takes video footage and takes pictures of your child at their current age, so that in the event that your kid gets kidnapped and goes missing because there's a serial killer who's going around this town kidnapping children, you have an updated photo and updated footage of the kids that they can play on the 9 o'clock news, and people can look at it and go like, oh, I saw that kid down at the mall, and then the police can help find them.
Yeah.
So this person has a business that specializes in this. The serial killer, it isn't him. It's his coworker who does all the video editing for him. What makes this entire segment disturbing is that while he's discovering what's going on, it's constantly cutting to this like mirror footage, because there's the footage that he shot of the kids.
Right.
Which is like, hey, what's your favorite like subject in school? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up and all that stuff. And then there's the dark version that the serial killer has filmed, where he's asking them all these questions while cutting them into pieces.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shy away from showing you them being cut into pieces and skinned alive. And to make it even worse, his coworker, when he does all this, is like presenting himself like the happiest, friendliest neighbor the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh man, looks like you got a bad cut there, buddy. Here, let me help you with that. like that kind of shit. This isn't like fun. This is just straight up horrifying.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. It's hard to just straight up horrify like a horror vet like me.
Yeah.
But they succeeded in doing it, and I gotta give them props for that. My only misgiving about this segment, and I don't blame anyone involved with it because I guarantee they weren't even thinking about this when they made it. When you look at the whole VHS Halloween as a whole, it's kind of weird that the one named black character in this VHS segment is that one serial
the one killer.
Is the one serial killer guy.
Yeah.
Kind of wish that one of the segments had like a black main character to like counterbalance this.
Yeah. But you could tell that they had this actor play the killer because he had the friendliest voice.
He was so good at it.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking knocked it out of the park. Like, some of the monsters in these segments, like, Fun Size was, like, funny, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't funny. He was just straight up like, oh my God, I'm getting, like, goosebumps watching him fucking play this part. So I get why they picked him. He was probably the best guy for the goddamn job.
Oh, yeah.
It's just unfortunate when you look at the whole VHS movie. But I will admit, I am totally right now being that, like, meme that's just, like, that one friend that's too woke.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only one that had that thought.
That being said, it probably is my second favorite segment after Coochie Coochie Coo, which is saying a lot because there's not a single like weak segment in this.
No, none of them are weak. They're all like A material.
Absolutely. So, with that said, let us move on to Home Haunt. The main twist in this particular segment is that when this family does this haunt, they always go to like the same stores to like pick up like supplies and whatnot. And the dad,
he steals this record, like creepy Halloween chants number 10 or whatever.
And he steals it from the back of a store from a section that isn't supposed to be for the public. Now that I think about it, when I think back to the segment, that was kind of like a weird, creepy witch room of artifacts.
Yes.
So it's entirely possible that the lady running the store is actually
like a witch.
Yeah. But he takes that and he brings it to his haunt, which is an amazing haunt, by the way. He makes this big, elaborate fucking dungeon that has like this courtyard.
Yeah, the front gate has this big like goblin mouth.
Yeah, it's got like a torture room. Like this thing is massive. This is probably bigger than his actual house.
Yeah.
It's huge. So he plays the record at the beginning of the haunt, and it ends up bringing the entire haunt to life. Everything inside the haunt becomes real. It's fucking wacky. At one point, a character gets eaten by a witch inside a boiling pot, and it's actually a little kid who gets eaten.
Yeah.
This VHS is a bad one to watch if you're a parent and you have a problem with kid deaths.
Yeah, because like one of the through lines of the whole fucking film is fuck them kids.
And fuck them adults that still think they're kids.
Yeah.
Because that's the other segments, basically. I really liked this. I think the highlight of it is, because this is the last segment, it's the one that escalates the most.
Yeah, it has the best smash cut ending.
Absolutely. So you have this great ending where the camera that the main characters have been using as they've been running through the haunt ends up on like this witch puppet that comes alive and flies around impaling kids before landing in front of the haunt. The goblin that's like looming over the gate, it's like this giant, like comes alive.
Yeah.
It's great. It's freaking great. If I had to pick the weakest segment, it would probably be that one, which is weird because it's actually really good.
I don't think there is a weakest
like
segment.
Everything in this is great. It's like it feels like a disservice to say that any segment is weak.
Yeah, this is the most consistently good of the VHS movies.
So good. So damn good. It's gory, it's hilarious, it's over the top, and at times it's outright disturbing. I think it actually has a good balance of goofiness to seriousness.
Yeah.
There's like 2 super serious segments, and then there's a couple goofy segments, and then like this last one is kind of like in the middle, where it's both goofy and serious at the same time.
Yeah.
If they can keep this balance going, it will greatly benefit future VHS movies.
Oh, yes.
100%. And I do hope they keep making these, because this was so good.
It was really good, yes.
Do you have any final VHS Halloween thoughts?
No. Anyway, you can find me here on YouTube, where I stream pretty much every weeknight around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You should come down. I'd love to see you there. I'd love to chat. Or you could follow me on Blue Sky at Count Jackula. What about you?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms, but these days, I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. And yes, I use Blue Sky because I'm that one friend that's too woke. Get your laughs out now, motherfuckers. And with that said, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages, and remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And if you made it this far into the video, then I think you know what the hashtags are gonna be. It's Coochie Coochie Coo and Fun Size. Take your pick, but one per person. Remember, one per person. You can't use both. If you do use both, mommy's gonna come and get you.
Then that Fun Size guy is gonna fucking put you in a conveyor belt and turn you into candy.
You're gonna be turned into a baby and then turned into candy, and I don't know which fate is worse.
Yeah. So, but hey, you won't have to choose.
You won't have to choose? No.
Yeah.
And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, peace out and have a happy Halloween.